Well, welcome back to the Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Media Day, downtown St. Louis. Harry Schrader here, valleyhoopsinsider.com, head coach of the Illinois Chicago Flames. Got to get used to all the new names. Coach Luke Yaklich. And first of all, welcome back to the Valley. Most people know you were an assistant, worked at Illinois State, and now with UIC. Talk about maybe just your excitement level of being back in the Valley with the Flames.
Well, it's happened, Harry, about probably 3 or 4 times already that somebody asks a question or you start thinking about something, and it's like every one of those good memories in the Valley, whether as a manager for 2 years under Kevin Stallings or the 4 great years that I had working under a great coach and great friend, and Dan Muller, was like it comes back. And then you have the painful memories of losing a 17-point lead against Northern Iowa in the championship game on a Sunday too. But it all is part of like really good basketball and great league, great coaches, great competition, and a great competitive atmosphere on a night-to-night basis.
I think it's interesting, Belmont and Murray come into the league as you do this year, and they're like this real proven commodity. Loyola leaves, and the Valley immediately finds a team in Chicago. I think that was such a brilliant move by Commissioner Jackson and the league, and your school seems poised to really be a Valley school, if I can say it that way. Does that make sense?
Makes complete sense, and that's the reason why we were so excited and ready to do it. Now, there's going to be a lot of you got your adjustments and you have your learning curves that are going to happen as an athletic program and as individual basketball team. But boy, Harry, from pure Midwest footprint basketball, like Illinois State, Bradley, Southern, Valpo, like Northern, you got so many schools that are they're right here. Within a 2-hour, 3-hour bus ride, so I can't express enough the excitement level for it, and then at the same time the nervousness, because exactly, I know going into those venues how hard it is to play and win in a league that's so incredibly well coached, well recruited, and then well developed.
Could you have, you're a manager of the basketball program. Could you have imagined back then, oh yeah, sure, just a few years, I'll be it's been more than a few, but in some years, I'll be a head coach in this league.
There was a part of me, Harry, that had a crazy dream that, yes, there's a part of me then that said someday I'm going to do that. And it was crazy, Harry, because I was a head coach at Joliet West High School, and we played in a super sectional game. If you won your sectional, you got to compete at Redbird Arena as a super sectional. So I took the Joliet West team down there in 2010, and I walked on the Redbird floor, and it was like, wow, I thought I'd coach here again.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's like, so at that point, it was like, hey, I got back to Redbird.
Yeah.
And little did you know that 3 or 4 years later after that, Dan offered me the position. And then obviously a couple of moves later, after the assistant coaching job at Illinois State, you have an opportunity to go back and compete in the Valley. So it's a dream that, from a personal standpoint, professional standpoint, really worked for. And then most importantly, from a family perspective, my wife is the rock behind all of this. And my 3 children have been supportive throughout the whole thing, as well as our entire family and the moves and everything. So it's special to be back in Illinois in general, because the state is so great for basketball. And then just have the opportunity to compete in the Missouri Valley again and be a head coach here. Dana Ford, I worked with, he was the first person, he and Tori Ward, God bless him. They kind of taught me the ropes, and then Dana and I are going to compete against each other in the opening night of UIC. So if you just said that, it's just too weird and too ironic, but really cool.
What has the buzz been like on campus and maybe even in Chicago? I mean, the Chicago market is tough to break. What I mean is there's Bears, Cubs, White Sox, all that stuff. But on campus as well as in the city, what's the reception been like?
No, it's been really strong, Harry. I think that there will be, the, the Valley in general, Harry, just has a much more like recognizable brand for Chicago. And the Horizon was great, but then there were teams that were kind of outside that footprint, still in the Midwest, but not in the quote unquote basketball footprint. So I think that's really brought a lot of attention to it. Each of the coaches all across every sport are very excited about this. And then our administration's done a great job leading this into it. And then ultimately, like, the best thing is to win games in the Valley, and then you get your fan base even more fired up for it. So we've got a challenge ahead of us, but I've got the group that I'm excited to be around. So this going to be fun leading them through it.
Your team is probably the least known to people watching my podcast right now, and to Valley media members and all that, because of a different league and all of that. Because even Belmont and Murray are more known because maybe they interacted, with it. Tell us about your team, some of your players.
Well, yeah, I think our team has there's a hunger and a little chip on their shoulder, because I think they feel like, okay, we're in the new league, but it's Murray State, Belmont, and UIC. So I think there's a little bit of we're going to be a fairly inexperienced team as a group. Harry, we've got to start with our kind of our older guys. We've got Trey Anderson, who's a grad transfer from Idaho, that's going to play a lot at the point guard position for us. And then Sean Williams is a kid from the St. Louis area that went to Kansas State. Bakersfield, came back to the Midwest.
So I'm playing high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then over at Hazelwood Central. And then we've got Toby Okani, who's a 6'8", kind of 4'3" forward, big wing type player from Duquesne, that really is like, when he's been on campus, he's just like taken like just absolute roots into the work ethic. He's in every morning, and his just like, I love our team in general, Harry, because there's a hunger to us that like we enjoy the gym, which is fun. And that's where you want to get to as you build a program, is a bunch of guys that love the gym. And then, the two guys that we brought with us here today, Philip and Jace, I mean, they both of them in 8 weeks made 20,000 plus shots in the summer. Absolute, like, those two guys are rock solid, everyday dudes that are going to bring it on the court. They bring it in the classroom. They are great people. And, they love the game. So they've been really good leaders for us, and both of them started, as freshmen, and really kind of made mistakes through the process, but were able to learn and grow, and are in a really good position to lead us into this. And then we have Jaden Brownell, was a redshirt freshman for us last year. Came in at like 6'9", 200 pounds. He's up to 228. He's a pick and pop 5-man. That has the ability to stretch the floor for us and play with a skilled 5, which is how we want to play. And Griffin Yaklich, he's done a great job this summer of being in the gym, changing his body. At 6'5", 6'6", has an opportunity to just be a steady ball handler for us, a player that understands the game, and has the opportunity to really be a really good role player for us this year. And then from freshman standpoint, we have 5 freshmen on the team, which we wanted to have a young base, and then be able to again and build with, and then keep in the program, and have spread out at various positions. So we have Cam Fence is a 7-foot kid out of Iowa that we're really excited about. Basante Saradba is from France, spent 3 years in North Carolina. Is 6'9", 220-pound 5-man. So I think at the big position, at our 5-man position, Harry, we're inexperienced there, but we're not short on effort and talent there. It's going to be probably a different guy each night, but really excited about the group we have there. And then we've got a young man from East St. Louis high school here, Christian Jones, that we committed to us in April, and he's been multi-positional guys that can slide up and down the lineup, guard different positions on the team. And Christian and then Stephen Clay from Milwaukee, they are both that type of guy. So Stephen's all-time leading three-point shooter at Menominee Falls, played for a good program, lost in the state semifinals. And then Jalen Jackson from Indiana, out of Fort Wayne. This is a tough-minded 6'2", 185-pound point guard that they've embraced the work, and then they've also embraced the leadership on our team. So I think you put all that together, it's just a really good mix of just young men that are hungry and love being in the gym. And Philip and Jace have done a great job as sophomores of leading them.
And they were posting on social media yesterday about flying down here. So they got that part going for them as well.
They're great kids.
Yes. I'm going to grab Jace and let you move on. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate it. It's the head coach. He's walking off with my microphone, though. Coach. And now I need my clip back, too. I'm telling you, live internet things. This is what we do. I knew he was going to do that.
You're a rookie, man.
So appreciate you joining us. I'm best dressed, I think, today.
I had to put it on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be a little. I can't even have a tie this time. I had to throw a little turtleneck on. You feel me? But, yeah.
A lot of time in the lineup last year as a freshman, having to take a leadership role as a sophomore. That's pretty early, but talk about that part of your game, the importance of that.
Yeah, I mean, I told Coach Yak when I first came in here, I said, "Hey, Coach Yak, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be treated like a freshman. Treat me like a senior. So when I am a senior, I have that. Okay, I'm treating you like a pro, or treat me like a pro now. Like that's my thing with him now. Is treat me like a professional athlete. Don't let me slip up. If you see anything, get on me and hold me accountable. So that was my main thing. I've always known that ever since I was a freshman in high school. I told my high school coach the same thing. So that's just who I am. I always want to be held to a higher standard, and I want to be held accountable. So coming in, that was one of my main things. Telling them like, hey, look. I don't have the body of a regular freshman. I'm not super skinny. I'm more on the athletic side. So just tell me, be real with me. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be, if you see something, tell me about it. And I'm not the type of person that's going to get in my feelings about it. I'm going to take it and run with it. So, I'm the type of person going to take it and run with it. So that was one of my big emphasis with him. And, coming in as 19 years old and being a vet, I'm the old head on the team. So, but I love it. That's just who I am.
So that was your approach. Tell me about his approach. Tell me what makes him a coach that you like playing. Tell me what you like about him as a coach that you like playing for.
Yeah, I mean, I think he brings the best out of me. I've known Coach Yak. He was the first person to ever recruit me when I was 14 years old. So having a relationship and knowing that out of basketball I could trust him and I can rely on him is a big emphasis for me. So he just knows when to push my buttons and knows how to get under my skin enough to get the best out of Jace. So I mean, it's a love relationship with him because I know at the end of the day it's genuine and he can talk to me and tell me, hey, like let's go. I need you to do this. I need to hear more of your voice. I need you to be more vocal, like little stuff like that. And I know, okay, you're right. I'm listening, and I know it's not out of hate or out of spite. It's out of love, and he wants me to be the best for me and the team. So. Just knowing that relationship with him is good.
Tell me about the move from the Ohio Valley to the Missouri Valley Conference. Go from the horizon to the Missouri Valley Conference. Does that bring an element of excitement as well?
Of course. It's just we love to be in the Valley. Just the platform it has for us and the environment it brings. Like I've never, I'm 19, so I've never been in an environment like this before in my life. It's all new to me and new for. In front of 5,000 people, 6,000 people. I'm from a little city, Titusville. We played in front of 200, and I thought it was a packed crowd. So just being in that environment, being on a higher stage, have more eyes on you. I mean, what else do you need? That's what you pray for when you was a baby, as a kid, is to play in an environment like this. So we're all excited, and we're ready to, as I was saying earlier, we're not coming in looking like, okay, let's get acclimated to it, and then we end up at the end of the conference. We want to come in and make an impact right away. So we feel like we're not coming in laying down for anybody. We're coming in, we're going to punch you in the mouth, and we're going to get to it. That's just how we are. We have a chip on our shoulder, and we're ready to get to it.
Last two questions for you. Describe Philip to me, like what kind of game he has.
Yeah.
And tell, because most of the people on our website, we pay attention to the Missouri Valley and the Ohio Valley Conference. Who's UIC? So tell them about your game and his.
Me personally, I'm an all-around player. I feel like every night I'm gonna be guarding your favorite player, your best player. I'm gonna guard him every night.
Wait, I like this. He's looking in the camera. He's warning you.
Yeah. I'm guarding your best player every night, and I feel like I'm the leader of the team and just the glue guy. So if I have to guard your best player, and I'm a scorer. I love to score the basketball and just an all-around game. Personally, that's how I feel I play. Philly is my man. My right-hand man. I can rely on Philly with anything, but Philly will shoot your head off. Philly is a shooter, and if you want to be he's a bigger size guard. So, he might bring you out, stretch your 5-man out, and that opens the floor for all of us. So, Philly is one of the hardest workers I've been around, and just his presence alone makes you feel like, okay, I got to be on my best behavior, my best game, because I know Philly's working hard and he's trying to get the best out of himself. So, Philly's a shooter, and he definitely coming to light y'all big men up and light y'all fours up. So,
I appreciate it. Come on over, Philip. We'll take that off. He went straight for the camera there to let them know he's taking their best player out. We clip that one on. Welcome to the league. He just told me you're a lights out shooter. Is that right?
I agree with that. So it is.
So you guys are the fresh faces of the league, right? The UIC, the Flames are the fresh faces of the league. And most of the people aren't aware in the Missouri Valley world. What are the Flames like? Talk about the style of basketball UIC plays.
Oh yeah, but this year we're gonna have a little different than last year. For some people that watched last year, we had a lot of older guys in the team, more experience. We ran a lot of different stuff for specific guys. But this year we're a new team. We're more athletic. We're younger. We can run better. So I think this year we coach preaches this a lot every day. Starts on defense, getting stops. We be the best, the fastest team in the league. Get the best pace, run a lot, get a lot of shots up, a lot of threes up. Just getting defend a lot.
He made a national reputation, Coach Yaklich did, as being a great defensive coach at some power schools. Talk about what you guys want to do to people defensively.
Well, just let them know we'll be right there. You're not gonna score. You're not gonna get any open shots. We're always gonna be there, contest. Always we're gonna try to drive. You score maybe, but we will be there. We'll let you know you're right there. It's not easy. It's not gonna be easy to score on us. You gotta fight for it and you gotta work for it.
Talk about Coach Yak. Why are you at UIC and what makes him, a solid leader of this program?
Oh, yeah, recruiting process is a little different for me because I was born and raised in Europe, in Serbia, so recruiting wasn't during COVID. And next, I had my Zoom calls 4,500 miles away, so it was a little different. But I remember him shooting me a text "Yo, I'm Coach Yak. I want to talk to you." That time, talking Zoom. So I talked. First time I talked to him, we clicked. We talked about a little book we read. All this. I just clicked with him, those family vibes. I always talk to him, preach that he's my American father because I don't have my family around me here. So all this just the family vibes, the being around, helping, talking, always being present. That's what I like about him the most.
And so again, take me to your game. Jace was telling me you're a shooter, but talk about your game. The people that are UIC is new to them. They don't know who you are. You're just a name on a list. Tell us about your game and even some of your background.
Well, yeah, I'm born and raised in Serbia. I've lived in 5 different countries all over Europe. So I've played. I played with pro teams since I was 13. So I have that experience. I've played on the national team, multiple European championships, World Cup. I've played on the highest stages in youth basketball. So I had a lot of experience with that. Personally, I think I'm an all-around player. I can play everything from 1 through 5 straight. I've played that all my life. I used to play point guard when I was younger. Then I grew a little more, so I turned down a couple positions. But forward, shooter, like he said, lights out shooter. That's what I'm working for. Pretty good ball screens, setting them and being ball handler. Actually, just all around over the field. Whatever coach needs me to do, I'll do. Rebound, basically pass the ball, assist, all that.
Final question for you. Tell me a player on your team that I don't know, meaning somebody that's maybe not one of the 2 or 3 guys that we do know about, that's going to surprise us.
Jaden Brownell, my boy JB. I used to call him Jay Biscuit. He's he redshirted last year, but he has a great talent, and he's trying to working a little better more this year. So I think he's going to surprise a lot of people in terms of from our staff and our own players to people in the league, and just wow, who's this guy?
Spectacular. That'll do it for this one. We've got, I think, one more set of interviews coming your way as we're bringing you live information and interviews from the Valley Basketball Media Day. We'll sign off now. You're watching ValleyHoopsInsider.com.